So shifting into that, in 4 days, I think it's the 5 year anniversary of when you hit those 10 threes and upset the that big game, and just putting yourself back in those shoes, you know, what did that feel like on that stage being able to do that? And like it maybe like your 6-3, your 7-3, what were you feeling? Were you just zoned out? Did you not even see the crowd at all?
Yeah, in the moment, like, it was weird because, like, watching it back, I've never, like I had, a bunch of celebrations in the game, and I've never been, like, a celebration guy before, so I don't know how to, like, describe that other than just I guess I was completely immersed in the moment and completely, like, just enjoying the flow of that game. And normally, I would say that I don't notice the crowd or I don't feel the crowd, but I think in that environment, like, it's almost hard not to, especially when the game's going in that way. Like, we had a whole, like, area of Oakland fans, and then everybody else in the gym, obviously, besides the Kentucky fans, was kinda rooting for us, so to have, like, 18,000 people in the arena and that much energy, it's, like, hard not to feed off of it, and I think, like, once I got rolling, it was just one of those things where you you just have kinda lost yourself and you make one more shot or even you miss one, and I was just, like, praying to get the ball back at that point so I could shoot another one, and those games don't happen all the time, but when they do, you kinda just try to make the most of it and try to make it the best it can be, so, um, yeah, I mean, the memory of it is awesome, and I think it's something that will never really slip my mind, which which is pretty great.
Take us to the morning of that game. Was that morning different in any way? Was it just kind of routine? Or like kind of talk us through what that day looks like leading up to the game.
Yeah, I've always been a super routine oriented, and I always have like a specific kind of way that I like my game day to look. I like to like wake up at a certain time, get to shoot around and eat at the right times and all that type of stuff. And I did my normal routine that day, but I definitely could feel like I didn't know for sure, of course, what was gonna happen, but I felt extra focused. I felt extra kind of locked in on the moment, and I think I just knew, like, this was an opportunity that I had been working so long for, that I had always wanted as a kid. I mean, every kid dreams of playing in March Madness, so, like, to have that opportunity, I knew there was one time I had to seize it. So I going into it, I was just following my routine and just trying to be as calm and collected as possible. And like for me, it's big about staying off your phone and just trying not to have like distractions going around. So I was pretty much just like sitting there staring at the wall, listening to music all day, which is like boring. I guess that was just how I was able to kind of stay focused and not worry too much about anything else going on.
Other than not looking at your phone and stuff like that, they're in March Madness is probably one of the biggest stages in all of sports, and you can't ignore it. There's tons of media going on, and you have to do interviews before the game, after the game, and you have this whole month of being on this stage. What was that like for your mental part, just off the court? How did that affect you?
Yeah, it was something that I never like planned for or never could have even expected. I didn't go into the game thinking like if I had a great game that I would go on like a media tour or whatever. That just was never even really a consideration. But once it happened, it was something that it just kept like changing every day, and I just had to try to keep up with it as best as I could. And I think I just tried to be as authentic as possible throughout the whole thing because I wasn't trying to hide anything. I wasn't trying to like deceive anyone, and that's I think why I tried to give as great of answers as I could, especially like in post game interviews and stuff like that. Where a lot of people have asked me about like when I said I didn't think I was going to NBA, but they have draft picks or whatever, and I think that just came from a place of kind of knowing my whole career, like where I've fit in, where I was never Tyler Hero growing up as a kid. I was never when I got to Hillsdale, I wasn't the best player. Like at Oakland, I wasn't our best player, but I was one of our better players contributing and stuff like that. So just kind of always knowing like I was trying to just keep improving and keep reaching and keep trying to be an impact player. And then like that stuff really helped me just become a better communicator and a better being able to do interviews and all that type of stuff was something that when you're playing Division 2, like you don't really have to worry about. even if we make the Elite Eight, like maybe there's 2 reporters there versus here, like we had 10 reporters in our locker room before the game even happened, like 2 days before at an open practice. Having all that stuff go on was a really cool experience and something that I feel very fortunate to have been able to go through.